Now I grew up down an old dirt road in a town you wouldn't know. My pops picked the place up for $1,500 back in 1964. My grandfather was a drinker.
Okay, so scenario is going to be two lost hunters are got their rucksack for an overnight deer camp scenario. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to sit here and say it's getting dark and we have no way of getting out of here since it's getting dark, and tomorrow we'll just continue on our way to our deer camp if foul weather isn't present, which still could be stuck here if so. So that's what we're going to do.
We're going to use the resources that we have at this brush pile. We see a couple concrete blocks that we could use to maybe corral our fire in to make some sort of improvised cook stove. So I guess we'll get started here. Okay, in my pack I carry a small axe because it's lightweight, it's easy to carry, and it's easy to use. So I'm going to trim some of these limbs off to make it some support for our shelter.
Now I grew up down an old dirt road in a town you wouldn't know. My pops picked the place up for $1,500.
We're not going to get real elaborate with this because we're going to be on the move trying to get out of here. So we want something quick and easy. We can both just kind of curl up in, get a fire out here in front, and stay warm for the night. Then we're moving on in the morning.
My pops picked the place up for $1,500 back in 1964. My grandfather.
Okay, so in this situation, you're gonna, other than your natural stuff like your wood, your grass, your food, you know, whatever you can find in the woods, everywhere you go, no matter where you go, there's going to be human traces or human trash that has gotten there somehow. In this brush pile particularly, we found some old siding type stuff, some bricks, a Mountain Dew can, and some plywood. We're going to use the plywood in this stuff for helping our structure over here, and we're not necessarily going for waterproofness. We're just going for getting us warm, keeping us warm, stuff like that, because I don't believe there's going to be any weather at all here anytime soon. So this is just an overnight thing that we need, so see you in a second. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on is getting a fire going. We moved this out a little bit farther from our shelter than it probably normally would be. That's just because so we can get around it easier and do video and stuff like that. You would usually push this a lot closer to your shelter. You obviously don't want to burn it down considering this is debris shelter, but you want it close enough you can get heat in it. But right now we're just trying to get it to where we can get in and out of it, work on it, cook us some lunch and stuff like that, just to be able to do regular camp chores. So we'll get a fire started here in a minute.
As you can see here, we have these two blocks that we've found in this brush pile. So we're using it as a wind block for our fire. So we don't want to get a big fire. We just want enough to give us a little heat and just enough to cook with. So as you can see, we have our tinder bundle in there and a few cotton balls that we carry, and Lane's going to get a fire going with his Sparky.
But a war is known to change a man, and the whiskey's known to change a man. That's not me. I rarely drink from the bottle, but I'll smoke a little weed. I still live in the sticks where you
Really concentrating.
As you As you can see, we got a quick, easy meal here. Have a nice warm drink, so our body should be warm enough through the night. In our shelter with our small fire, this should be a doable night. So I think we're gonna get to eating.
I still live in the sticks where you wouldn't go, in a town of 1,200 off an old dirt road, and a country boy is all I'll ever be. Now it's been 12 years since I sold my soul to the devil in LA. He said, sign your name here on the dotted.
See, we have finished our meal. We're trying to hunker down now for the night. So
we're gonna conclude the scenario. As you can see, in 2 hours we are ready. We had our shelter built, food in our bellies, fire going for the night. We obviously would have got a bunch more firewood if we would have stayed overnight, but we didn't gather any since we didn't need to. We're not going to be out here. But a good rule of thumb on that is, you think you got enough firewood, gather 3 times as much, because you always underestimate how much wood you go through.
And like I said, this is a quick shelter. If you was planning on staying here for a couple of days, you would have insulated this a whole lot better. Like I said, we're on the move. We're going to be bugging out of here and we're trying to effect self-rescue. So we're just doing a minimum shelter, just enough for windbreak and maybe just a possible if a light rain. But other than that, that's all we've got.
A little bit of heat.
Yeah, we'll get a little residual heat, and maybe if you was going to later in the evening, maybe scoot your fire just a little closer to get a little more residual heat. So, in saying that, stay safe.
Now 2 flags fly above my land, and Renaissance.